Alright folks, the VZ62 Jasan or Jasan Tier 9 Premium Czech medium tank 4-round autoloader 100mm that's comparable to the Tier 10 TVP T5051, just less alpha damage by 20, so mag dump faster than the actual Tier 9 tech tree vehicle, the Škoda T50, but this vehicle looks a little bit smaller too. 5 pairs of road wheels compared to 6, with less domey of a turret design, a bar preventing shot traps, but the turret shape is more mushroomy on this look of the vehicle. Definite shot trap into the hull roof if you aim properly, but the mantlet is very big for the rounded turret front. Also, the gun is also pretty huge too. So it's all about mobility, even though this vehicle is slightly slower to rev than the actual Škoda T50, has better top speed and a lot better hull traverse speed. So definitely mag dump faster than the Škoda T50 and runs away while being a premium. So pretty good now that Tier 9 medium tanks are eating great. We have assault medium tanks like the DZT, or sniper medium tanks like the Eric. So now we get a very good autoloader that's better at mag dumping than sniping, as with the UDES 0303 in a sense, or Charmarat. So this thing is looking up to be very scary of a support medium tank, or platoon of 3 of these to mag dump you with the same speed between each shot as with the TVP T5051. So less alpha damage, sure, but yeah, scary. Visually, it's not the worst looking of vehicles, right? But yeah, it's not about the armor. It looks weird, but yeah, shot trap all you want. This thing doesn't really have that much armor, unless the mantlet that's super huge and oversized for the front of the turret eats the shell. It does also have gun depression too, which is also surprising, but let's take a look at the stats. So, alpha penetration is about the same as with the Škoda T50's AK-1 gun, but 20 less alpha, that's fine, for 1 more round in the clip. The reload speed between each shot is faster than the 1.8 on the Škoda T50. So reload time is not that bad for 4 rounds in the clip that deals 300. Also, high explosive anti-tank will penetrate almost anything. Standard shell velocity for APCR is very fast, which is great. Aim time is actually longer than the reload time between each shell, so you might not be fully aimed unless you cater towards it with like enhanced gun lane drive, which you shouldn't have. But accuracy is okay, average, mediocre. Does have 8 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation, and 48 rounds. Fits all your high tier Czech medium tanks properly. So 25 horsepower per ton ratio is not as good as about 27 on a Škoda T50, but does have better top speed by 5 kilometers per hour. Hull traverse is very quick, very quick. Turret traverse is pretty quick, not the quickest, but very quick too. 1600 health, it's a medium tank. 160mm of armor on the big mantlet turret front. You might throw a few shots with 8 degrees of gun depression and the roundedness and the bigness of the mantlet, but that's not the armor. That's mostly combination of all the armor and sloping, so don't rely on it. 80 at the hull front, that's nothing. 40 at the hull sides, it's practically a medium tank at this point. 390 meters of view range, and radio is slightly below standard, but that's fine. So this vehicle is a very nimble, very mobile mag dumper of a gun. So DPM is really high for an autoloader. Compare this DPM to like sub 2000 on a Batchat 25T AP. That's crazy, right? For the same alpha damage too, 300 alpha. That's on the 100mm for the Batchat at Tier 9. This thing has about 500 more DPM and premium tank status. So, oof. Health could be, I mean, it's an autoloader, so you cannot have that much health. It's unbalanced at that point, but 25 horsepower per ton ratio, 55 kilometers per hour top speed, 52 degrees per second hull traverse. That is real good. Has better camo than the Škoda T50. Not as good view range though, by 10 I believe, but let's see, Škoda T50, yeah, 400 meters of view range, worse camo, better engine power to weight ratio, but less top speed, and less DPM too. Has the better alpha slightly, but one less round in the clip, and takes longer between each shell to reload technically by 0.3 seconds. So not as good as mag dumping as the Tier 10 of course, with 1.5 and 4 rounds in the clip. So the reload time is almost the same as with the Tier 10. Just 1 second off. Which is kinda nuts for only 20 less alpha damage per shot, so DPM is very comparable to the mag dumping power of the Tier 10, which is scary, right? It doesn't have the 60 kilometers per hour top speed or better horsepower per ton ratio, but that's fine. So only 200 less health. Holy crap. That is pretty good. So overall, it's like having the Tier 10 version of the gun, just slightly nerfed for Tier 9, but as a premium that's capable of making bonds too. Czechoslovak military consider a departure from use of Soviet tanks. VTU, yeah, okay. It's mostly paper tanks, right? Yeah, it's mostly paper tanks. This thing is nuts. But yeah, the mobility seems crazy with the combination of the autoloader. That DPM is just nuts. Shell velocity is good too, just don't need to spam gold shell. You can also spam gold shell at close range with high explosive in the tank, don't have to lead that much. But 500 meter per second difference between APCR and heat is crazy. So you don't really carry high explosive with these vehicles, especially only 48 rounds. So it's more like a 36-12 split or something like that. But yeah, you don't need that much gold shell if you're just mobilizing your super speed and just jam the shell into the side armor and mag up and run away. So city maps like Himmelsdorf is easy cakewalk into the hull sides of a mouse and dump like 1200 damage, runs away to reload. Or even through the front with high explosive anti-tank if you want. But as a premium tank, as a Tier 9 premium, they're eating good. DZT for assault, the AP58, the Vergotrox thing that could be coming out for the French. Assault medium tanks are eating well. Sniper medium tanks are eating pretty decent with the Eric, right? And the UDES 0303 is decent sniping for autoloader, but this is proper autoloader with burst fire potential. But the only downside I could see is possibly the accuracy and maybe the view range. I mean, if you give it 400 meters of view range, a little bit overkill, right? And 60 kilometers per hour top speed, kind of overkill with that mobility. So we have to see the actual dispersion while traversing the turret and moving the hull, but also with the terrain resistance. So for now, this looks pretty devastating if you leave this vehicle alive, and when you have like a platoon of 3 of these at the end of the battle. Instant mag dump with high explosive anti-tank rounds. So comparable to the Škoda T50, just one more round, slightly less alpha between each shot, but just mag dump all the time. 48 compared to 45 rounds. Yeah. It's a premium tank though. So equipment wise, vertical stabilizer, supposedly, to help out with dispersion while moving. And turbocharger, optics, basic medium tank setup. You don't really need enhanced gun lane drive, you're not fully aimed. At least for the last 3 shells. The first shell you could aim, but you're not fully aimed after each shell. You could put improved aiming with the gunner sights to help out with the accuracy. But if you're close enough, just mag dump, right? You don't need to fully aim. So normally vertical stabilizer help out with the mag dumping aspect. Just circle strafe and mag dump. So yeah, these vehicles are getting crazier for premium tier 9s. Normally tier 9s, like a year or 2 ago, are just kind of whatever, right? Chieftain Proto, WZ-114 sucked ass. Now it's getting crazy level, like with the BZ-176 level, right? Like the power creep for tier 9 vehicles. So it is support, right? It should be support. So similar to the Škoda T50. Field mods, you already have fast enough traverse, especially for the hull. You don't need more, right? Have less penalty to your engine damage or ammo rack damage. Even though I already have decent traverse speed for the Škoda T50. This one's overkill, but it's up to you. So less penalty, but you should not be getting hit too. So this one's just overkill for either one. Dispersion while moving or base accuracy, circle size. Aim time is quick on the Škoda T50. And accuracy is not bad, even without the accuracy buff. I would still say dispersion while moving. It's more of a mag dump vehicle than a sniping autoloader, like with the Batchat, like with the Swedish vehicle. I will say dispersion while moving. We have to see the actual soft stats, but like I said, it depends. Camo, obviously, over reverse speed and suspension repair, you should not be getting hit for the repair. And reverse speed is already decent at 20. It should be 20. 20. So turbocharger will buff it. This will nerf it, but overall balance out. Give it better camo. It already has better camo than the Škoda T50, so give it better camo. And finally, aim speed or aim circle size after firing compared to reload time. 5% reload. Well, if you can't hit your target, then reload means nothing, right? So what's important about this one is the aim circle size after firing, which is very helpful for faster intershell or intra-shell reload than actual aim time, right? You reload faster between each shell than the actual fully aimed circle. So it's better to have smaller aim circle size after firing. And I would still say DPM is already great. You don't need to overkill with DPM. DPM will give you about 200 more. But if you cannot hit the targets at medium distance, then it's kind of pointless. So this one's up to you, right? If you want to be very aggressive, get more DPM out of it. Just mag dump without fully aim. If you want to be a little bit more cautious, reserved, snipe from medium distance or so, like 300 meters, somewhat 400 meters, get this one. So overall, as a premium tier 9, this vehicle is comparable or might be even better than this one, than a tech tree vehicle, right? Tier 9 premiums are not great most of the time, like a year or 2 ago. But now, with the likes of the DZT or the Eric, it's different question. Totally different. This is a very good assault medium tank. Medium tanks are eating well. Heavy tanks are debatable. Some good autoloader tier 9 premium heavy. This one got nerfed. These all got nerfed. So heavy tanks are not showing up as a good premium tier 9. Especially this piece of crap. Tank destroyers, only the Lada Streets for them I like. I mean, TL1 is more like a tank, more like a medium tank than an actual tank destroyer, so that's up for debate. But yeah, medium tanks are eating well. This is no question another very good tier 9 premium medium. Very good. So shell velocity is great, burst fire is great. You don't really need to have that much gold shell. I would say 7? Holy crap, it's scary. A platoon of 3 of these is very scary. Especially to a tier 7. We haven't even talked about freaking tier 7s against this thing. This will almost outright kill a tier 7, right? Most tier 7 medium tanks don't have that much health. Like only 1,200 at best. Let's see. Not even a 1,200. Only some of the chunkier German have more HP to this will not see tier 9s. Thank God. So you will instantly kill a tier 9 medium tank outright with one burst fire if you manage to pin all the shells. You will pretty much pin. Yeah, you will pin with 250 millimeters of pin against tier 7 mediums, no question. So stuff like this thing, Proto-Pershing gets evaporated with one clip burst of the mag dump. I mean, heavy tanks could take a few punishments, like Tiger 1 per se at tier 7, but yeah, sometimes you could bounce a few with the T29 on the turret against that thing. That's fine, right? But this cannot kill a Tiger 1 outright most of the time, unless you ammo rack into the side armor. So I want to say 7 for this rating, without seeing the actual dispersion while traversing the hull and moving. But for now, the gun is very scary, right? Give it a 2-round clip with more alpha. Easier to deal with as a low tier vehicle, right? Slightly easier to deal with, but that's moving on to like heavy tank territory, like a Škoda T56. So we'll have to see the actual soft stats, but for now, the hull traverse is crazy. The firepower, basically the tier 10 version of the gun, just 20 less alpha. And slightly worse accuracy, fine, but not that much, right? Not really that much. 0.35 compared to 0.34 is almost nothing. So how the hell do you deal with this in a bottom tier vehicle? In a tier 7, you're getting obliterated, destroyed if you have no armor. Don't even talk about tank destroyers. Tier 8 tank destroyers have no health, like 1,000 health. Like a Romtel Borzig, you have no health. You get evaporated instantaneously. Unless you play like a Yak Tiger Proto. Yeah, this thing has health. This is more like a heavy tank, fine. But if you're playing like a ISU got buff, right? Yeah, you could get killed in the ISU instantaneously with the mag dump. So in the span of 4.5 seconds, you're dead in a paper armor vehicle. Like a Kanana Yak Panzer, you're toast at this point. Even if he missed one round, he could roll high on 3 out of the 4 shells and kill you, which is crazy, right? So 7, I would say 7. This is crazy. Well, there you go, folks. This will probably get nerfed. This will definitely get nerfed. I think it will. Otherwise, it will be like a DZT or Eric in the right hands. But a platoon of 3 of these, when top tier against a bunch of tier 7s, you're screwed. You're definitely screwed. With that mobility, with that firepower, and gun depression, don't forget, you are dead. It could also possibly bounce the shots with the big ass mantlet and the roundness of the turret front. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Well, there you go, folks. The VZ62 Jasan or Jason. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
僕らは何回だってきっとそう何年だってきっとさよならと共に終わるだけなんだ仕方がないよきっとおかえり思う